Good morning, class 10 students. Today we are going to study Economics Chapter 1 Development. When we hear the term development, immediately what comes in our mind? Income. Because behind all kinds of development, income is the most important factor. So in this chapter, we are going to study whether income is the only one factor behind all kinds of development or not. Or along with income, are there any extra factors for development? So let us see here development, economic development. When we hear the term economic development, immediately we know that we are thinking that increasing the income of the people and improve the standard of living. Increasing the income of the people and improve the standard of living of the people. Because we know that income is very much necessary for sending our children to school, for providing them shelter, for providing them clothing, fooding, everything. So income is one of the main factors behind development we are thinking so. So let us see here, present is governed by the past. So without knowing the past of one person, means past economic background of one person, we cannot suggest to him another economic goal or another developmental goal. What changes should be there in his life? So we know that development means we are thinking we should live in a comfortable house. We should give better education for our children. We should give better clothing, shelter, everything comfortable living. That is called development. Social development, national development, individual development. If we think our individual, suppose if development is, what is development for me? I need to make a good house. I need to provide good shelter for my family members. I should be able to give them better clothing, and also I should be able to provide them food properly. I should be able to take care of them. That is called my development. Similarly, in a society, large number of people are there. For all these people, developmental goals are there. So developmental goals of different persons will be different. So without knowing the past, we cannot suggest developmental goal for anyone. Because as example that India and America basically since many centuries or since many years, America is a very developed nation. So in the developed nations, automatically conditions will be more easier. But in case of India, it is still a developing nation. And here, economic development, more arrangement of facilities will be difficult in India by comparing with America. But in America, arrangement of facilities for citizens will be easier since it is already a developed nation. The same way, the country developmental goals of a rich person and a poor person will be different. A rich person can easily arrange money and other related matters. But a poor person, he may not be able to arrange easily money and such other related matters. That's why, without knowing the past, we cannot suggest developmental goal for anyone. And different people, different goal. Different in a society, if there are 100 people, all these 100 people's developmental goal will be different. Because what may be development for me, that may not be development for you. And what may be development for you, that may not be development for me. That is why different people will have different developmental goal. Because my situation may not be your situation. My background may not be your background. That's why different developmental goal will be there for different peoples. So in table 1.1, you can see some persons and their developmental goal. So in that, some columns are already filled, some columns are not filled. Then you have to fill that. So you can see one column, an urban unemployed youth. So what will be the developmental goal of an unemployed youth? That means when we suggest a developmental goal, then we have to think what is most important in one's life. Suppose if my salary is, just example, 50,000 rupees per month. Based on this 50,000 rupees, I will be able to arrange some developmental goals in my life. So if I have already one house, if I am able to provide clothing, that means fooding to my family members. So what is next important for me? That will be my developmental goal. Suppose if I do not have a car, so that buying a car will be my developmental goal. Otherwise, sending my children abroad for getting higher education, that will be my next developmental goal. So what is most important in my life as per my background? Suppose an urban unemployed youth. For him, since he is unemployed, he may need immediately employment. That will be his developmental goal. So an Adivasi from Narmada Valley, that Adivasi may expect. So basically Adivasi people are poor people and they may be landless people. They may be surviving by working on the plot of others. So that Adivasi may expect she or he need to get a regular employment, a regular job. Then only they can meet their expenses. So their expectation is that they need regular work. Then only regular income will be there. With this regular income only they can meet their expenses. So based on our situations, what is most important in our life, that will be our developmental goal. So different people, different goal and conflicting developmental goal. Sometimes when two people seek two different developmental goals, that may lead to conflicting, that may lead to conflict, that or conflicting developmental goal. These examples are given in the textbook. If two children from the same family, one girl, one boy. The girl is doing all household activities. So she may expect that her brother also should help her to do household activities. But her brother's developmental goal will be something different. He may not like the idea of his sister. So there is a possibility for conflict. Similarly, one other example. Two categories of people in a society. One is industrialist, another category of people, small farmers. So the industrialists, for success of their business, they need electricity. For producing electricity, they may think a dam should be constructed across the river. But at the same time, small farmers of that locality, they may suggest that their developmental goal may be for irrigating their field, small check dams are enough. But if a large dam is constructed across the river, their land areas will be submerged underwater and moreover they will be forced to go away from there. It will affect their lifestyles, livelihood, and because of that they may suggest small check dams. So two category of people with two developmental goals and that led to the conflict. Industrialists need big dam but small farmers need small check dams. Because if a big dam is constructed, that may affect the lives of a large number of people. But if small check dams are constructed, electricity cannot be produced. So it may affect another group of people, especially industrialists. It may affect their business. And so they may not like the demand of small farmers. Small farmers may not like the demand of industrialists. So there is a possibility for conflict. So that is why we can say that when we suggest developmental goal, what may be development for one may not be development for the other. And sometimes there is a possibility for conflicting development. In such cases, the development of one may be even destructive for the other also. Now, let us study income and other goals. So here we are going to study that. For making development in our lives, whether income is only enough or not. So in this topic we are going to study that income or material things, money or material things are only one factor for making development in our lives. With only money we cannot lead a satisfactory life. We cannot lead a happy life or comfortable life. So even though if we are so rich in a society, but if we are not getting respect from others, if we are not getting equal treatment like others in the society, if we are not getting freedom to do anything in the society, what is the use of this money? So money is very much necessary for making development in our life. Suppose for making a house, for buying a car, for sending our children to school. So money is important for development. Money is very much necessary for development. But money is only one factor for making development. Along with money, several non-materialistic things are also very much necessary, equally important for making development in our life. If the people of a society wanted to lead a comfortable and satisfactory life, along with money, these factors are also equally important, or equal treatment in the society. So we know that upper class, lower class people will be there in the society, rich and poor people will be there in the society, but if people are not getting equal treatment, harassment if they always face. When we go to market, if we are harassed, if we are insulted, if we are abused by others, we cannot lead a peaceful life. Always there will be tension in our mind. Even though if there is money in our pocket or in our bank account, lots of money, even though if we deposited, but still that money may not help us. That money always may not help us for getting equal treatment in the society. The same way, for getting respect from the society, that money sometimes may not help us. So we need to get a respect from others. We have to give respect to the people, and of course, we also should get respect from the people. Then only we can lead a satisfactory and comfortable life. And we should have the freedom like other people. So we should not think that we only should have freedom. We have to get freedom like other people in the society to do things in a better way. The same way, security. When we go for working somewhere, we should get protection in the society. We are expecting more than income. Suppose when we go to work a far away place from our locality, more than the salary, we are expecting whether we would get security there or not, or whether we would get proper accommodation for our family members or not. So more than income, we are expecting security also there. The same way, when women are ready to work, large number of women are also ready to work, but they are expecting that they should get a safe working environment. A safe working environment. If a safe working environment provided, if a respect provided, they also will be ready to contribute a lot. They also will be ready to work in the society. So safe working environment, security, freedom, respect of others and equal treatment. These factors are equally important along with money for leading a comfortable and better standard of life. And these are equally important for making development in one's life. With only money, we cannot lead a satisfactory life, because that means the role of our friends, their love, their affection, kindness, all these we cannot measure. Money and material things we can measure, but non-material things, what we cannot measure, we should not think that they are not important in our lives. They are also equally important. That's why these things are very much necessary. Similarly, people look mix of goals for development. These are the mix of goals. So not only income, equal treatment, respect of others, freedom, security, safe working environment. These all together can be called as these are mix of goals for development. Now let us see the topic national development. So what is national development? So far we have seen individual development. For the individual development, we have seen along with income, some other factors are also equally important, like equal treatment in the society, respect of others, security, freedom, safe working environment, all these factors. Similarly, in case of national development also, people will have different ideas, different expectations. What facilities should be there in a nation? That will be developmental goals of a people regarding the national development. Let's see that ability of a nation to improve the lives of its citizens. Ability of the nation. Yes, nation always should be, all the people of a nation may expect that. A nation should be able to solve the problems of the people, and a nation should be able to help the people to lead a better standard of living. All the people of a nation may expect this. Since they are part of one nation, they may expect the government of the nation should take initiative steps for arrangement of facilities for helping the people to lead a better standard of living. So people may expect that as a part of national development, people may expect government should be able to arrange socio-economic development of all. What are the social developments? That means equal, all the people should get equal treatment in the society, respect in the society, freedom, all these can be called as social development. Economic development, all the people of a nation should be able to make improvement in their living condition. That is, they should be able to get better income. They should be able to get employment opportunities and better income, and they should be able to lead a better standard of living. That is called economic development. So, all the people of a nation may expect government should take proper policies for the arrangement of better health care for all the people in all the localities. And they may expect in a country, the illiteracy rate must be reduced. And eradication of poverty, increase life expectancy, arrangement of employment opportunity for all, increase of GDP rate, all these people may expect. That means a lot of expectations will come. Different people may have different developmental record. So now a government cannot accept ideas from all the people. How the government accept developmental goals or ideas from the people? So that is why what is most important for a large number of people, that facilities only government can arrange. Suppose when government invests money, individual facilities government cannot arrange. Government can arrange facilities collectively. Suppose a government may invest money for the arrangement of one hospital, means one government hospital. It is the responsibility of the people to go there and get a better treatment. Government cannot arrange private clinic for each family. It is not possible because it needs huge investment. So government cannot arrange private vehicles for all the people for their easy movement from one place to another place. For that, government is arranging transport vehicles. Government transport vehicles. So people should use that vehicles. The same way, government is arranging all the facilities collectively. So what is most important? So what is most important for a large number of people? Such facilities government will arrange. That is called national development, because individually facilities government will be very difficult for the government for providing individual development. So national development means thinking about how to adopt a fair and just path. How to adopt a fair and just path for the benefit and development of a large number of people by a better way of doing things. That is called national development. So a government cannot arrange individual facilities very easily. So sometimes the people who do not have housing facilities, government may are able to arrange such facilities. But some facilities collectively can be provided. A government school for a large number of children in a locality, a government hospital for a large number of people in a locality. Such kinds of facilities only government can provide. That's why we can say national development means thinking about how to adopt a fair and just path. Fair and just path for the benefit and development of a large number of people by a better way of doing things. So people of a nation may have lots of expectations. Like better healthcare facilities should be there, better educational facilities should be there, GDP rate must increase, everyone must get employment opportunities, and also we can say that social economic development should be there, all the people should be able to lead a better standard of living, and poverty rate should be reduced here, illiteracy rate should be reduced here, and severe diseases should not be here. All these expectations will be there. So government cannot accept all these developmental ideas from the people. People may have different developmental goals. All these developmental goals cannot accept. So what is needed for a large number of people, that government may accept and provide facilities. Now, let us study how countries can be compared. We know that students of a classroom can be compared on the basis of their one or more qualities or characteristics, like same the students with same height, students with same age, the students who perform same level, students who are interested in singing music, students who are interested in sports. That means with these kind of qualities we can easily compare the students. But how can we compare countries? For comparing countries for a long period of time, their total income is considered as the most important factor. On the basis of the total income, countries compared as rich countries and poor countries. The countries with more income considered as rich countries, countries with less income country compared as poor countries. Because income is this is because of the concept that income is most important for development. If there is income, we can make all the other arrangements in our lives. With this concept only, countries compared on the basis of income. So then what is the income of a nation? The income of the nation means the income of all the residents. That means income of all the people who live in a country can be called as the income of the nation or total income. So when we compare countries on the basis of total income, this creates some problems to know deeply whether a country is rich or poor. That's why average income is considered, average income of the countries. So how can we compare, how can we calculate average income? Total income divided by total population. When we divide total income of a country divided by total population, what we get is called average income. So average income has one another name, that is called per capita income. So with this average income, when we calculate the average income, we can compare countries on the basis of this, whether a country is a rich country or whether a country is in the list of poor country or middle income country, like that. So as per the calculation of average income, we know that US, if a country is able to earn, that means in a country if all the people or their income is 12,236 US dollar or above, if all the people of a country are able to earn 12,236 US dollar or above, that country is called a rich country. If all the people are able to earn only 1,005 US dollar or less than that, that countries will be coming in the category of low income countries or poor countries. Then which type of countries are called? As per 2016 calculation, the countries where all the people are able to earn 12,236 US dollar or not, such countries are done. The average income of the people of a country is 12,236 US dollar or above, such countries can be called as rich countries. The same as per the 2016 calculation, if the average income of a country is, if average income of the people of a country is 1,005 or less than that US dollar, such countries can be called as low income or poor countries. Then let's see what is the status of India. India comes in the middle category, that is middle income category. Low middle income we can say, because our average income is 1840 US dollar. Average income of the people of our country is 1840 US dollar. In Middle Eastern nations, in all the countries, this comparison is applicable. Why in Middle Eastern nations this comparison is not applicable? Because Middle Eastern nations are basically small nations, and moreover, the gap between rich and poor is very high there, and unequal distribution of wealth is existing there, and also we can say that actually only one source of income mainly there, that is from oil, and also that means very poor educational and health facilities in these that means Middle Eastern nations. And so because of all these problems, Middle Eastern nations are not included in this comparison. So countries can be compared on the basis of the average income. How can we find out average income? When we divide total income by total population of a country, we can get average income of that country, average income of the people of that country. So on the basis of this average income, we can compare countries. If the average income of the people of a nation is $12,236 or more than that, such countries are called as rich countries or developed nations. And if the average income of the people of a nation is 1,005 or less than that, we can say such countries are called less income countries or low income countries or developing nations. India is a fast developing nation. That's why our average income is $1840. But when we compare average income, one problem is that we cannot understand the actual income of a person. In next page, one example is given. Disparities can be seen in average income. You can see two columns. Column A, that means country A, country B. In country A, average income of all the people, first 5 citizens are given. Average income of all these 5 citizens are almost same. But in country B, first 4 citizens are earning only 500 each and last citizen earning 48,000. So the average income of that country altogether, the total income will be 50,000. 50,000 divided by 5 citizens, average income is 10,000. So the average income is 10,000, but what actually that citizens are earning, first 4 citizens are earning only 500 rupees each. That's why we can say that even though if we compare countries on the basis of average income, but still the problem is that we cannot understand clearly what one person earns. In India also, even though $1840 is the average income of the people of our country, but large number of people are there in India, still they are not able to earn this $1840 $1840. They may be able to earn only $1,000 or $500, only that much that people will be able to earn. But we cannot understand that by calculating average income. That is the main problem of calculating average income. Now let us see income and other criteria. So we have seen in the last portion, for comparing countries, average income is used. So when we compare countries or states on the basis of average income, we cannot understand whether clearly a country or a state is developed or not. Let's see that. 3 states of India and their average income: Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. The average income of Haryana is 1,62,034. Average income of Kerala 1,55,516 and average income of Bihar 34,168. In case of economic growth, out of these 3, Haryana is the best state because most economic growth. Economic growth and economic development both are different. Economic growth and development, not economic development. Economic growth and development both are different. In case of economic growth, only Haryana is the best out of these 3. Haryana is the best. But development means not only income growth. Development means there should be some other facilities like better health facilities, better educational facilities, along with income, better income should be there. There is employment opportunities for the people. Better income facilities should be there, better educational facilities should be there, and better health facilities should be there. If all these 3 factors are existing in a state or nation, then that nation or that particular state can be called as developed state or developed nation. Let's compare these 3 on the basis of 3 factors. Infant mortality rate in all these 3 countries and literacy rate in all these 3 countries. Net attendance ratio in all these countries. One table is given in your textbook. Go through that table. So infant mortality rate in Haryana is 36. What is infant mortality? number of children that die before the completion of 1 year of age as a proportion of 1,000. That is, for every 1,000 live children, that is before the completion of 1 year of age, for every 1,000, 36 children used to die in Haryana. This rate in Kerala is 12, and in Bihar it is more, that is 42. And the literacy rate, out of every 100, as per 2011 census, out of every 100, that is 7 years or above category of children. Out of every 100, how many children used to get education? In Haryana, it is only 82 children out of every 100, only 82 children are getting education. In Kerala, it is 94, in Bihar, it is 62. And net attendance ratio. Out of every 100, that is in between the age group of 14 and 15 years. Out of every 100, how many children in between this age group is going to school? That is net attendance ratio. In Haryana, only 61 out of 100. In Kerala, 83 out of 100. In Bihar, 43 out of 100 are attending schools in between the age group of 14 and 15. So by comparing with these three factors, infant mortality rate, literacy rate and net attendance ratio and average income, we can say when we compare all these factors, Kerala is the developed state out of these three. We cannot say it is the most developed state. When we compare these three states, Kerala is developed because here average income is also not so poor. And along with average income, infant mortality rate is very less because better health facilities are there in the state of Kerala. More number of private hospitals and government hospitals are there, and so the health status of the people is very good in the state of Kerala. And in case of literacy rate also, literacy rate, that is 94 is the literacy rate, 94%. That means actually out of every 100, 94 children are getting education. That is 7 years and above age group. Out of every 100, 94. That means because of the sufficient number of schools, government schools and private schools, people are able to send their children to nearby schools, and so they are able to get education. That is the literacy rate. But in case of Haryana, income is very high, but the number of schools may be less. Income is very high, but number of hospitals may be very poor. That is why we can say infant mortality rate is very high there and literacy rate is only 82. And the case of net attendance ratio between 14 and 15 age group, that is only 61 is attending school. That is not because of the lack of interest of the people, maybe because of the lack of enough number of schools in the state of Haryana. So we can say development means better infrastructure facilities like health facilities, educational facilities and arrangement of all this. So not only income, other than income, these factors are also necessary for development. So that is why when we compare average, when we compare countries or states on the basis of average income, we cannot clearly understand whether a nation is developed or not, whether a particular state is developed or not. If we want to compare countries or states as developed or not on the basis of these factors, we can. That means average income, literacy rate and health status, educational status and health status. These three factors are very much important for comparing countries whether developed or not. Let us see public facilities. Public facilities means facilities available for a large number of people. We know that many facilities are there. These will be available for a large number of people together. Even though if there is money in our pocket, sometimes we may not be able to buy all the goods and services that we may need to live well. So money cannot buy all the things that we may need to live well. Some examples are given in the topic public facilities. Suppose even if we want to live in a pollution-free environment, even though if our area is already polluted, in our society, if there is 100 people, if all these 100 people together like to clean that environment, only that environment will be changed as a clean environment. If all the 99 wanted to live there itself, you also will be forced to live in that polluted environment. You cannot live separate, you cannot get a pollution-free environment there itself. If you are able to move to a new area where pollution is free, it is possible. If you want to continue there itself, you may not be able to live in a pollution-free environment. The same way, in your society, in case of if this medicine, cheap quality medicines are only available, there is only need for a large number of people, you also may get only that. Unadulterated medicines. Even though if you have money, with your money, you can go somewhere else and you will be able to get good quality treatment, better treatment like that. But in your locality, cheap quality medicines are only available, cheap quality treatment only available, you also will be able to get only that. Because a large number of people get only that. And that's why in your locality, if large number of people, suppose if there is 100 people, all the 99 do not like to send their children to school, for your only one child, one school cannot open. So your child also may not get education. If your child is able to study now, only because of the thing is that, or you are able to get education, only the thing is only because of the reason is that in your locality, other children are also like to study. That's why schools are opened, and since schools are opened, facilities are available, and you are able to get education. In your locality, if there is 100 children and all the 99 do not like to go to school, you also may not get education. Even though if you like, you also may not get education in your locality. If you are able to move to somewhere, you also will be able to get education. For that is why if you live in a locality, collective facilities only will be possible to get. Government also can arrange only collective facilities like better health facilities for a large number of people. So if people do not want education in a locality, government may not construct school education, government may not arrange educational facilities. In the same way, health facilities. If people demanded only, government will arrange facility. That also not individual facility, government will provide only collective facility, because that is more cheaper. So public facilities are always like that. Public facilities means facilities for the public. That is available for a large number of people only, not individually. If you want to live in a pollution-free environment, if all other people also like to live in pollution-free environment, then only that is possible. If all the people wanted to get unadulterated medicines only, you also will be able to get. If all the people wanted to send their children to schools, only you also will be able to get education. That means money may be there with us, but that money may not help us to get all the things we may need to get to lead a satisfactory and comfortable life in our lives. The same way, in the state of Kerala, infant mortality rate is very less. That's only because of that public facilities, that is, health facilities are very good there. The state of, there is some states, that means, what do we say that? Poverty rate. Poverty rate means malnutrition. The health status of the people may be good, because public distribution is very effective there. The state of Tamil Nadu is one example for that, because in the state of Tamil Nadu, all the people are able to get that means food grains through the public distribution system, and because of that their health status is better in the state of Tamil Nadu. So that is why we can say public facilities can be arranged for a large number of people only. And body mass index, BMI. In your textbook, one activity is there, and just read that and study how to calculate body mass index. At the back, at the last part of this textbook, it is given that body mass index of various age category of children. So find out your body mass index and which category of children are coming under malnourished, which category of children are, that means healthy children, which category of children are obesity, overweight, or which category of children are poor health children. Like that also you have to calculate body mass index. Then Human Development Report. As per World Bank World Development Report, 3 factors are important for comparing that means a state, a region, whether developed or not, a nation or a state developed or not, average income, health status and education status. These 3 factors are equally important for comparing a countries whether developed or not, for comparing states whether developed or not. That is called Human Development Report. World Bank publishes this Human Development Report. Then let's see sustainable development. Sustainable development means the present rate of development is able to continue or not. In a country, we know that economic growth may be there, development may be there, that is infrastructural development may be there, health status may be there, economic status may be, economic growth may be there, educational growth may be there. So the present level of development is able to continue by a country or not. That is called sustainability of development or sustain. Whether we are able to maintain the same level of development or more development than this, possible to continue or not. That is called sustainability of development. So, if we are going down from the existing development, that is not sustainability of development. Whether we are able to, whether the people, whether a nation is able to maintain at least same level of development or more better than the same present day of development. That is called sustainability of development. So two examples are given in your textbook. Go through that. Through two examples are in one is in the matter of oil, crude oil. One is in the matter of underground water. In these two examples, you can clearly understand whether sustainability of development is existing or not. So these are the topics we have studied in case of development. So in this chapter, we have already studied that income is only one factor behind development. So income is not only enough for leading satisfactory and comfortable lives, and along with income, several factors are equally important like security, respect of others, equal treatment in the society, freedom, and safe working environment. All those factors we have seen. And whenever government is arranging, government can arrange public facilities only. And for comparing countries, we have seen average income is the most best option criteria. But when we compare countries or states on the basis of average income, we have seen some disparities. And that's why for comparing states whether developed or not, along with average income, health status and education status are also equally important.